in a classic case of development working out for the Breakers. Pledger getting the starting role after the departure of Gary Wilkinson. Of course, they brought in Will Hudson, and we are good to go at the North Shore Event Centre. Finally going to have some basketball. Daryl Corletto start out with Jamal Wilson on him. Upstairs to Abercrombie. And Grabo got a piece of him and stopped the dunk. But wow, what an exciting play first up.
Woohoo! How about that one to start off? The lob play. Thomas Abercrombie goes up. Aaron Grabo about 3 stories underneath him, but still gets enough contact to keep the ball from going in. And heads up foul by Aaron Grabo. He had nothing to do but foul him there.
Abercrombie misses the first.
And interesting to see the Breakers try and get Thomas Abercrombie off to a good start here early. The last couple of games, he's played better in the second half, but hasn't gotten off to that fast start.
Well, it almost has been a case of who will get off to the fast start. And for either team as well, because for the Cairns Taipans, Aaron Fern has had different players step up in different games, and obviously the Breakers have had the luxury of having a very deep bench as Grabo inside on Corletto. Breakers swarming in there. Trigar at 3 seconds call on the Taipans, so first turnover of the game.
Aaron Grabo has a bit of a size and strength advantage there over Daryl Corletto, but when he gets the ball that deep, he's got to put it up so close to the basket, passes it out. All the other players on his team were expecting a shot.
Inside to Pledger, gets it out after the double team came across, and Abercrombie goes to work on Grabo, spins, rises up and just front rims that little hook. Speaking of a little hook, Pledger cleans up the glass and gets the putback.
Well, he almost looked surprised that he still had it in his hands. All of a sudden, he's right next to the basket with an easy 2.
Some list him as 213, some list him as 215, some list him as 216. But I can tell you that Alex Pledger is really, really tall. You just saw an example there as he blocked Jamal Wilson with that long wingspan.
Well, that is nothing but wingspan there. He just reached out behind. He was beat completely, just reached out and smacks it out of the sky.
Loughton, Dracona on him. Grabo shoots it with one on the shot clock. It's in! Aaron Grabo gets it up and in for the Cairns Taipans.
Well, that is a fantastic sign for the Taipans. When Aaron Grabo is hitting that 3, that makes this a much more difficult team to guard. They have to pay a lot more attention on the perimeter, opening it up to those big guys inside. And confidence-wise, Aaron Grabo, he's a confidence guy. When he gets going early, he's going to have a good game.
Speaking of confidence, Mikavakona goes to the cup, gets the rebound, goes back up, off the glass, and in.
Mikavakona using that ball handling ability, some of that all-around skill that we were talking about in the pregame, takes it down and lays it up off the glass the second time.
This matchup between Glidden and Abercrombie will be very interesting. Trigar blocked by Pledger on the way up. Wow, what a block. Jackson kicks it out to Corletto. Drives. The runner. Yes! Daryl Corletto, I love that shot.
Well, started on the defensive end with a shot block by Alex Pledger, who's already got 2, and then on the other end, Cedric Jackson makes a good decision. Daryl Corletto makes a better one with a pretty runner.
Glidden gets it. Good screen set for him. Loughton and Abercrombie contest, and Mikavakona has it. Gives it to Jackson, straight into Grabo. And Grabo will pick up in foul number 2.
Well, 2 fouls early on their defensive stopper. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult as Brad Hill gets ready to check into the basketball game. But Mikavakona there drops the ball off to Cedric Jackson, who, as always in transition, very aggressive, taking it straight to the hoop, putting his body on the line with reckless abandon, getting the line for 2 fouls.
Look at Brad Hill's beard. I mean, there's no mustache there.
It's quality.
It is a great beard. It's almost like it rivals Will Hudson's.
Oh, I think it certainly rivals Will Hudson's. Doesn't look like he spent as much time in it, but it's a solid chin strap. Certainly a solid chin strap. Look good on you. You should do that.
I'm thinking about it right now. Jackson gets his own rebound, fires it in, and Abercrombie couldn't get it, and he goes sliding into the electronic sponsors board. And it will be Cairns Taipans' ball after all of that.
Well, still the only flaw in Cedric Jackson's game is that shooting from the free throw line, still sitting at about 55%. For the majority of the season, he's been able to hit them when they count, but no team really has gone to the foul him when he gets into the paint and reckless abandon.
Travel as Loughton trying to haul it in. Another turnover for Cairns.
not what Aaron Fern wants to see. He spoke about taking care of the basketball, and so far they haven't been able to do a great job of it.
The Breakers already have 4 rebounds, 3 of them on the offensive glass, so that advantage creeping up already. The Kona shot is no good, and Trigar looks for the outlet and finds Glidden. Abercrombie picks him up at the 3-point line. Kona, I think, will pick up a foul on Cam Trigar, battling at the top of the key.
A lot of physicality away from the basketball, and the defense you do on players who can score in the low post is all done before they catch you. You want to keep them away from getting to their spot, and that's what Kona was trying to do. But got a little handsy with it, couldn't keep him off without that illegal use of the hand, so gets pinged with a foul.
Kona takes a seat, Boucher is in. Hill gives it to Glidden. Glidden, similar physique to Tom Abercrombie.
Is that a nice way of saying he's skinny?
Yeah. Wilson, wow, what a move. Straight out of the Bronx and in. Jamar Wilson, second year in the league. Second runner-up, or I should say first runner-up, in MVP voting last season.
Well, that was an MVP-type move, the crossover step back.
Pledge in good position, but too strong. Brad Hill brings it up for the Taipans. Trigar trying to use his quickness. Fires it out. Abercrombie, 3-on-1. Gives it to Daryl Corletto. The layup is good. And Corletto has 4 while the Breakers are up 10-5.
Well, the 3-on-1 break quickly turned into a 2-on-0 break as Thomas Abercrombie passed it up. Gambled a little early, the defense did, and created an easy opportunity.
Loughton, fall away. Pretty move by Alex Loughton across the key.
That's a big ask for Dylan Boucher to guard Loughton in the post. He's standing there about 6'9" and a lot heavier than Dylan Boucher. As good a defender as he is, when you've got that much mass on somebody, you can't keep him off his spot.
Man, Alex Loughton just trying to hip check. Cedric Jackson does so and picked up the foul. As Edwards checks in the game, and Loughton will take a seat.
And now this is a lineup with a lot more quickness for the Cairns Taipans. Just the lone big guy, Cam Trigar, and even him more of a hybrid big, more of a shooting 4 than he is really a down there in the post guy. So expect to see a bit more gambling defensively from him.
8 on the shot clock. Boucher. Tipped away by Trigar as Jackson cut through the key. 5 to shoot.
Good help side defense by Trigar there, laying off Alex Pledger because he doesn't really respect his jump shot. Sitting there in the middle of the key, able to just keep that ball out of Cedric Jackson's hands on the cut.
Sean Bruson, Glidden will sit down. Abercrombie. Wilson. And Boucher will pick up the sneaky veteran foul, trying to slow down the fast break. CJ Bruton in the game. Daryl Corletto is taking a break. And Shane Edwards to Trigar. Hill throws it straight to Boucher. Looks up, gives it to Abercrombie. Up strong and dunks it with 2 hands.
Well, he may be skinny, but he took the bump there with ease on the fast break. Knocked off the defender, went up and through him for the 2-handed jam.
Trigar over Pledger. Wilson's there. It's no good, but it's tipped in. I think that was Brad Hill, got the sneaky hand on it. Jackson the other way. Gives it up to Abercrombie, and Abercrombie's going to the line. He has been active early. He's made appearances in the second half of some games, but Tom Abercrombie is aggressive tonight. And
he's been the recipient of some fantastic Cedric Jackson looks. It seems like he's trying to get Thomas Abercrombie going early on that fast break there. Dropped it off, gave him an easy opportunity, which was created off a made basket that time. The ability to get out and run like that. Here we see this steal from Dylan Boucher. Sneaky defense, as you talk about. And Thomas Abercrombie just knocks off Brad Hill, comes through, hangs on the rim for good measure.
Kind of in traffic. Still good to see. 2-foot plant with a 2-hand dunk.
Well, there was traffic, but all that traffic was on the ground. He just went above it.
You can join the conversation tonight. Handle is Sky Sport NZ, hashtag New Zealand Breakers, NZ Breakers. Dennis is collating them studiously at the other end of the court, and he'll have some of the chat with Casey later on.
This one here on the foul shot. one side of that goes to Edwards. Like, have a go at Edwards in the backcourt. Yeah, Bruce, not Edwards, Bruce. It goes to Bruce, the other guy. No, we're in man-to-man. Pack 40, we're going to get it out of Wilson's hands with Leon. Leon's up, okay? Offensive, great push of the basketball, keep running your lanes, and then we've got ball movement, set screens and ball movement. Here we go, we jump. 1, 2, 3, get him off the glass.
Let's see Alex Pledger sitting there on the bench about to get a bit of a rest, but he wasn't resting to start the basketball game. Came out, was a presence early, started with the offensive rebound putback, and a couple of blocks to go with it on the defensive end, including that one right at the peak, possibly on the way down. But if the refs don't see it, it doesn't count. 2 blocks for Alex Pledger in the first quarter.
Alex Pledger leads the league in blocks. He's already got 2. He has an average of 1.6. And he also leads the league in offensive rebounds per game with 3.3. So Alex Pledger is getting it done this season for the Breakers in the middle.
And he's doing that statistically in only about 25 to 28 minutes a game. He doesn't play a whole lot out there, especially when Daryl Hudson was available, but a few more minutes now, but really more of a part-time positional player when they've got that advantage, and he doesn't even really close games for the Breakers.
Abercrombie will get another go as they're battling for position. Trigar and Belcher. Breakers extend their pressure. Sean Bruce poked away by Jackson, but gets it back. Once again, Belcher comes over the top of Trigar, pokes it away. But the Taipans will have a back case with 11 on the shot clock.
Well, breaker pressure in the half court is really giving the Taipans trouble right now.
Wilson with Henry on him. Henry's defense has improved his help. Can't get that 3, but it's Wilson again tracking down the loose ball. He's hungry for it tonight. Wilson, good defense by Abercrombie. Edwards, it's not falling from deep for the Cairns Taipans tonight, but they will get another go at it as the ball came off a Breaker's hand. And the Cairns Taipans case, he's shooting 4 of 12.
They're 4 of 12, but getting extra possessions on the offensive glass, really doing a good job of smashing on it and getting the ball back.
Yeah, they've already got 4 offensive rebounds, but earlier they had 0. Wilson, great help. The Breakers are just swarming with a small lineup all over the Taipans as Bruton thought about pulling up. Usually reserves those for the 4th quarter. Bruton, check that. Henry has it just over the top of Edwards. Abercrombie fades. That is tough to guard.
Not a lot of flow in the offensive half court for the Breakers right now. All their damage being done in transition. The Taipans really shutting them down in the half court.
Wilson has all the moves. Steps through, puts it up. Man, the Cairns Taipans cannot buy a bucket in the last couple of minutes.
But they have to feel good. They're getting good looks, and they're only down 5 as poorly as they're shooting.
Dylan Belcher. Brad Hill got it. Broke out that play with Abercrombie. So good pressure at both ends defensively with both teams. Trigar, too strong. Henry to Bruton. It's a 2-on-1. Back to Bruton. 2 points.
A better move by C.J. Bruton, getting Brad Hill up in the air and just ducking underneath him for the grounded layup, but it still counts for 2.
Bruce turns the corner and pulls up, and that's nothing but the bottom of the net for Bruce.
A solid move there by Sean Bruce, coming off the screen and taking advantage of the C.J. Bruton getting caught up into it, tried to get the foul called, but with all that space, easy jump for him to hit.
This matchup between Wilson and Jackson is a real good one. Wilson averages about 17 points a game at 50% shooting, 5 boards and 2.3 assists against Cedric Jackson. And he's pretty much the same, but shoots better at 57% and has 5 rebounds and 6 assists a game. So these two like going at each other.
Statistical analysis from Andrew Mulligan.
I think it's just reciting stats. I don't know if it's analysis.
It's analysis. When you say it out loud,
Okay,
that's got to be analysis.
I'll take it. Just as I hype that up, they both take a seat.
Well, they got to get the rest for later. It all happens in the 4th quarter.
Loughton's back in the game, though. It's Corey Webster's in the game for the Breakers. And Glidden's back also. 10 to shoot. Edwards in the corner again. He likes that spot, and he gets the 3 ball to drop.
Well, just a little miscommunication defensively. Leon Henry and Mika Vukona both thought somebody else was going to guard the shooter. Instead, nobody guards him and hits the 3.
Under 2 to go in the first quarter. The Breakers up just 2. Cornetto a little too far away for that runner. Taipans can tie it up on this possession. Will take a lead with a 3. Edwards, is he feeling it? With a foul down low, battling for the rebound. And is that going to be on CJ Bruton? No, it's not.
Looks like it's called on Alex Loughton there. He was hanging around thinking the foul was on him. Thought he was the recipient, but he was the aggressor at that time. But the Taipans very aggressive on the offensive glass. Looks like there's something they've seen in the film there that they can get an opportunity out of, and they already have 4 on the night, but as do the Breakers.
And that is 5 team fouls as well. So the Breakers will get shots with 1:34 to go in the first.
Well, this is a guy you don't want to give free opportunities to. Fouling him on the other end of the court, getting him to the free throw line, letting him get his eye in early, even though he wasn't able to do it on that occasion. But every extra shot CJ Bruton gets him a little bit more in rhythm and a little bit closer to that deep ball 3 that he likes.
Makes the second. Breakers lead is 3 with 1:34. Bruce. Shot clock. Loughton makes a move. Stripped by Mika Vukona. Streaks up court. Tried to throw a one-handed pass to Pledger. That was a miracle ball. Cairns have it. In and out. Loughton's there to clean up the glass. And he gets the foul called on him. And he'll go to the line to convert a 3-point play opportunity.
Well, when they push the ball quickly in transition, the Taipans are getting mismatches, and that's 2 possessions in a row that CJ Bruton has had to try and box out Alex Loughton, and just hasn't been able to do it. The first time he was able to get the over-the-back call, but this time Alex Loughton just calmly collects the basketball underneath the rim, finish it, absorbs the contact, and has a chance for the 3-point play.
Loughton does convert the 3-point play opportunity. 10.5 points and 5 rebounds a game for the big man. Webster's feeling the pressure from the Taipans. Gets it to Cornetto, who's in the game. Webster, Vukona, Pledger, Bruton, and Cornetto. Pull up by Webster. Strong, too strong as well. And Mika Vukona is called for a foul as Edwards picks himself up off the court.
Well, the crowd may be booing, but Mika Vukona got 2 hands in his back, even if he wasn't the reason he fell down. Once you put 2 hands on the player and they lose their position, that foul's going to be called. Mika Vukona just getting his hand caught in the cookie jar. Here we see the replay. The strong brick by Corey Webster. As Mika Vukona, not much in it. Seeing the second time around, I could see why he's angry about it. It looked like he was already falling down beforehand, but still, hands in the wrong place at the wrong time, send him to the free throw line.
He is a strong man as well as Mika Vukona. It wouldn't take much, even though Edwards is a big man himself. And that is the 15th foul for the Breakers. So Edwards makes the first. And the Breakers discuss what they're going to do is Vukona takes a seat.
And a couple of guys in trouble for the Breakers, and it's 2 guys that are always in foul trouble. Boucher and Vukona in foul trouble early. Not a lot of bigs on their bench now. It looks like a lot of minutes for Alex Pledger tonight.
Will they go for a 2-for-1 opportunity here with 39.1 to go on the shot clock, on the game clock?
Doesn't look like it. A little pressure from the Taipans going to slow them down, take away that opportunity.
For the movement on defense and the talking by the Cairns Taipans, they are dialed in tonight defensively. Playoff hopes take another life as Pledger high off the glass, off the rim I should say, no good. The shot clock is off. Cairns will most likely have the last shot of the game. Tell you what, we waited a long time, but it won't be the last shot of the game. It'll be the last shot of the quarter. 6.1 seconds to go, Casey.
And Jamal Wilson checking back in. Always want the ball in his hands when it comes to these end of quarter situations. He's got the ability to score at a very short amount of time, much shorter than 6 seconds left, so should be able to get a look with ease here.
Both teams going with a short lineup. Wilson blows by Bruce and goes up strong with Abercrombie. He got him on the arm.
Late whistle there. Looked like he was just going to let it go if there was any contact, but off the miss, he decided that no, that was enough contact and it deserved a whistle. Here we see, after a brilliant move by Jamar Wilson, Thomas Abercrombie gets completely ball, but then gets a little bit of forearm afterwards. Starts with the basketball, finishes with the forearm, and it's a good call by the official. Down there on the baseline.
Justice for the Breakers fans in attendance. Another sellout of the North Shore Event Centre as Wilson misses the first. They are up 3, 20-17. It's the Taipans lead. 1.6 to go. Loughton checks in as Clint Steindl takes a seat. Abercrombie, one dribble, gets it up, and that is too strong. And the Breakers are down 3 against the Cairns Taipans.
But they look like they've been in the weight room this week. A lot of those shots are going long. Look at getting that bench press done.
Cairns leading 20-17 over the New Zealand Breakers.
Well, the Taipans have to be pleased. Came out a little bit flat, didn't have anything going offensively, still only shooting 35% for the game, but defensively, keeping the Breakers under containment in the half court. The Breakers shooting 38%, and really controlling the rebounds as well. The Taipans with 11 overall rebounds and 5 offensive. And I think this is exactly the kind of game Aaron Fern would have liked to see coming in.
The thing that's really keeping them in the game, they had a period there where they just couldn't hang on to the ball. 5 turnovers for the Cairns Taipans, just 3 for the Breakers. It's Aaron Fern.
They slip out of so much stuff.
Nigel Manis
having trouble with the nail.
dialing in. Of course, over a minute to go.
When you see these coming, you got to jump now and you got to jump low. We've got to pack in the weak side a little bit more and then make our one-way closeouts. We also have to come up with boards. We're giving up 20 points and 4 offensive rebounds. Okay? Offensively, against their press, when it's here, again, we get the circle, have this guard coming back. When we make these sorts of hits, Chief, you got to be big on the rim. All right, look down. Leon, you get a catch, look down. All right, don't look back here. Be aggressive against it. When you catch it in the block, it's like on your first dribble, they're coming to blitz. Your man leaves you.
Well, here are a few of the highlights from a defensive struggle in the first quarter. Started off with Alex Pledger, Jamar Wilson going out one another. A little bit of Daryl Corletto with the runner to the lane, but overall, both teams really coming and hacking the basket. Jamar Wilson giving the Taipans a little bit of a lift offensively with the jump shot before the Taipans took advantage down low with some Alex Loughton power. And the Breakers really could only find their offensive rhythm in the fast break after a couple of turnovers, in particular by Dylan Boucher steals, with one which led to this fantastic Thomas Abercrombie fast break dunk.
Always 2 shakes and some trans. That's the secondary. All right. Get in the defense though. Get stops. Get boards. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
I want you fans into this game.
Aaron Fern. If you wonder where his accent is, he is a Kiwi who spent a lot of time in America and now lives in Northern Australia, North Queensland, with Cairns. So you'll catch a little bit of some flat vowels, some, I guess, American accent, and a little bit of Australian in there as well.
It's the mutt accent. It's a one that comes from living in a lot of different places. I've got a little bit of mutt in me now as well, and it's a good thing to have. A man of the world, Aaron Fern.
Second quarter underway. Wilson. Jackson on him. Loughton sets the pick, rolls. Edwards looks for him, gives it back to Wilson. 4 on the shot clock, spins. Loughton. Nice basketball from the Cairns Taipans.
Well, just good spacing by Alex Loughton there. He knows that Alex Pledger wants to block those shots. So on the Jamar Wilson drive, he just found the open look. And right there, about 8 feet. Difficult shot, but he still was able to hit it.
Boucher gave Dallas Corletto the head fake. The head nod, and that's a charge. As Loughton apparently was outside the defensive circle and Pledger just plowed into him.
Yeah, it certainly came right through his chest there. I'm not sure if his feet were outside the line, then it's definitely a charge. Oh, and there you see, bad call by the officials. Both feet were still on the charge line, so beneficial there for the Taipans. Just a difficult shot or place to see on the court, apparently.
Can you have one outside and one in?
That's a good question. Internationally, I thought you had to have 2 feet out, but this is something that maybe I need to do a little more research. Thanks for calling me out, Will.
Well, you finally have turned the tables on you. Jackson gets Brad Hill's miss. Well, we'll ask one of some of the referees at halftime, shall we? Turnover, fast break. It's a rare one for the Cairns Taipans, and they can't convert. Hustle, though. Hustle almost got them the ball back, but the Breakers will have it.
Cam Glidden all over the floor on that one, disappointed in himself for missing that layup, but look at the hustle coming back. He did not drop his head. He got right back into the play and almost got the position back.
And he was rewarded with the bum tap from Aaron Fern. He loved the hustle of the young kid. Cam Glidden, a lot of potential for Cairns.
And you see it there. He misses a layup and disappointed in that, but does not stop playing. Really like the head on his shoulders at such a young age. To be able to stick with the play like that is a great trait to have.
Boucher into the key to Corletto. Pledger drives hard and Loughton. I believe that's foul. No, just number 2 is Pledger. Drove hard and he had to be fouled by Loughton. Gets the layup and he'll go to the line.
Well, Alex Pledger there doesn't settle for the jump shot. He's wide open at about 15 feet, but aggressively drives to the rim instead, puts it on the floor, up and through Alex Loughton, takes the contact, does not matter, gets the fortuitous roll on top of it, gets the opportunity, the 3-point play to boot.
Can't get it. Who wants it? Chagar pulls it down. Grabo upstairs to Edwards. Miscued pass. Jackson goes the other way, and that goes upstairs to Abercrombie. Almost a carbon copy of it. And we're back to Edwards. And Edwards puts it up, but can't get it to drop. Glidden drives at Corletto, drives home. Gets the rolling in. Helter-skelter basketball.
Wowzers. Track meet. Did we say something about the Taipans not running? Because that is not the case right now. These guys are off to the races. The missed opportunities, a couple of those, though. Great looks at the basket, can't get it going. Here, Edwards just can't corral it, runs into the backboard. Ball's in the wrong spot. The Breakers try and fast break back, can't do it, but eventually Cam Glidden is the recipient of somebody who finally wanted to make it.
Cairns with a 6-point lead. Abercrombie gives it to Boucher. Edwards on him. Boucher. It's a foul on Edwards before the shot, maybe. And I think it will be 2 shots. So we've got him as he made his move. So the Breakers having a little patience. Going to Dylan Boucher in the post, Casey.
Well, I think the Breakers like that matchup there. Shane Edwards just not able to, the Breakers feel at least, not able to guard Dylan Boucher in the post, even though Dylan Boucher's the size of a small forward, or he plays that power forward position. He's got quite a bit of strength for a guy his size, more than you'd really expect. And when he gets down to that paint area and is determined to get to the basket, he is difficult to keep from getting to it.
This is the first, and Dylan Boucher retiring at the end of the season. After the postseason, depends how far they will go in the postseason. Most fans feel as though with Cairns beating Perth, that home court advantage is enough for the Breakers to be able to win another championship, but it is just not that easy as Wilson gets an easy backdoor cut, rewarded with the pass and a left-hand layup.
Well, Cedric Jackson out there trying to pressure on the perimeter, wants to fort Wilson out as far as possible. That time, Wilson, clever cut, easy layup.
Abercrombie, it's a 3 if it goes. Tipped out. And Breakers ball on the baseline with 7:22 to go in the half.
Well, the 7-footer Pledger amongst multiple Taipans, but he's the one who gains the possession. Even though he couldn't corral it, he forced the Taipans to knock it out of bounds.
Corletto along too, and that's good.
The Breakers trying to find some kind of rhythm offensively, hoping that Daryl Corletto can be one of the forebearers of that with the jump shot.
Wilson. Trigar. Tapped off the rim by Abercrombie.
Man, the Taipans are having struggles on these little bunnies right now. Have a lot of great looks, but they can't get to go in.
Wilson and Jackson got tied up. And the trick shot won't count. And it will be Jamal Wilson who will pick up a personal foul. Yeah, the Cairns Taipans shooting 10 of 28 at the moment, 36%.
And still in the lead by 5 points in the clear. And mostly done with defense. They really pressured the Breakers. But they've got such great opportunities on the fast break. You have to think they're going to rue those misses come the second half of this basketball game.
Well, they're leading the rebound count 14-9, Cairns. And also the Breakers have just 1 assist on 8 field goals made. Jackson goes to the cup, no good. McConnell's there to get an offensive board and gets it up.
Well, this is a battle of men tonight. These two teams are just physically imposing their will on one another. They haven't been able to get the shots to fall, but battling down low and getting extra possessions. Both teams impossible to keep off the glass.
Cairns very good at containment, and their defense is forcing the Breakers into making one-on-one moves and tough shots. Speaking of which, Corletto battling for the rebound, tipped it out. Cairns will get it back.
Aaron Gabro just forces Daryl Corletto down a little bit past where he needed to be to get that up. As we see the difference in the three-pointers. Breakers only 2 from deep so far. Not very common for them.
Glidden just hung in the air, double pumps it, and kisses it off the glass for 2.
And this is a player that's looking like he's playing with some confidence right now. Really aggressive going to the basket, aggressive shooting the basketball from deep as well.
Nice pass from Jackson to Boucher. It seems as though the Glad Rap's gone on the Breakers rim as well. But that first up shot on the shot clock. Wilson. Tipped it out. And it will be Taipans' ball. Wow.
How about that move in transition? Jamar Wilson, when he is crossing people over, he is leaving them in the dust here in the first half, creating opportunities for his teammates on that occasion, but just couldn't get it through the Breaker defense.
Abercrombie and Boucher take a seat. Leon Henry comes in. Pledges back. Corletto, Jackson, and Vacona are the other Breakers. Pledger pulls down the ball. And late whistle on Shane Edwards, but I think he got Pledger as he tried to pull down the board, and a little bit of a discussion there, and the referee and the player agreed in the end that it was indeed a foul.
Well, here we see the replay. Bruce misses a layup, and not a lot of contact from Edwards there. I don't know if that was a good sales job by Alex Pledger, or he just got the benefit of the doubt from the officiating crew, but not a lot of contact, certainly not enough, you'd think, to knock over the 7-footer.
The Breakers, 24, Cairns, 29. Cairns aren't very good at guarding the three-point line, but tonight, as we have a foul called on the baseline, tonight, the Breakers have only had 2 attempts and they haven't made one.
And very uncommon for them as Dusty Reichart gets a check back in the basketball game after a long injury layoff. He gets right into the battle on Mika Vacona. Looks like he hadn't missed a game with the physical contact there.
Naturalized Australian, and Dusty Reichart, been in the league, I think, 11 years.
It's a quick 11. Can't believe it's been 11 years for him already.
Vacona makes his first free throw. And on the court for the Taipans, it's Glidden, Bruce, Reichart, Grabeau, and Trigar.
Dusty Reichart, certainly not the offensive force he was once upon a time, but he's still got that ability to round the basket. If you forget about him, he's always going to be in the right spot, finding that open space, and really has a nice soft touch from 15 feet and in.
29-26, still a 3-point lead for the Cairns Taipans. Bruce gets it back. Corletto's now on him. Under 5 to go in the half. Foul on Tripp. And that will be on Alex Pledger.
Oh. The fouls that are being called tonight are so tight. It looked like it was tripping over Dusty Reichardt's foot there. I'd like to see the replay on that one, but here we see it. He comes off, trips on Dusty Reichard, and gets a foul called for Cedric Jackson.
That is terrible.
Unfortunate for Cedric Jackson there, but quite obviously a missed call there, but happens quit out there on the court.
I think it's on Alex Pledger. That's his second.
Alex Pledger, I don't know how he got that foul call, but hey, you know, if you blow the whistle, you got to call it on somebody.
All right, there's a home and home series against the Melbourne Tigers coming up this Sunday at 3 p.m. live on Sky Sport 3. And then next Thursday, back here at the North Shore Event Centre, they'll play the Melbourne Tigers again. And the Melbourne Tigers are another team just one game ahead in the wins column of the Cairns Taipans. The Tigers are in 5th. And you'd think playing the Breakers home and away, that if they lose one of 2 games or both games, they'll be out of playoff contention. So they will be hungry. They will be up for this game, as that number 4 spot has become very, very competitive. Number 3 spot as well, with Wollongong and Sydney, both on 11 wins.
If it's not there, then just keep moving the ball and keep getting the arm ball.
Let's get into this Breakers games. Come on. We want your support. Be the best man you can be.
Well, he's getting a bit of a rest now, but he got off to a fast start on the basketball court, scoring 5 quick points, a couple on the fast break, also finding his teammates in transition. Always willing to be the high riser out there on the court, including a deft defensive touch around the rim with a heads-up play, knocking the basketball off the rim.
Abercrombie 5 points, 1 of 5 from the floor. Breakers down 3 at the moment, 29-26. On the foul, the shot clock resets to 14 with 6 now. Oh, it's a nice 3 from Sean Bruce.
Sean Bruce showing a little bit out there. The Breakers tried to pressure him and get into his head, but it hasn't affected him at all. That time, it's a nice jumper coming off the on-ball screen.
Tipped away by Grabo. The Breakers with 13 seconds on the shot clock. Wait as Clint Steindl checks in, and Grabo will take our seat. And comes Jamar Wilson as well. So who's going to sit down? And it will be Glidden and his 5 points.
Corey Webster checking in.
And Andre Marnis counters with Corey Webster checking in the game as Daryl Corletto will take a breather and have a Gatorade.
Fresh legs for everybody.
Someone's on the floor. It's Bruce.
Bruce trying to sell a foul on Alex Pledger.
I think so.
As Alex Pledger was trying to post up Cam Tragar there. The little fella just seemed to get in the way. Tries to grab him. Just get off me. How about that one?
I mean, that could go either way sometimes in this league, really, couldn't it?
I think what they called there was Bruce for the wraparound. Had he not had the wraparound first, he might have had a chance to, but Alex Pledger in the post, he's not going to let that little mosquito keep him off the block, I don't think.
And crucially, that is foul number 5, team foul number 5 for the Taipans with 4:22 to go in the second quarter. So that is a real bonus for the Breakers.
But they're playing very aggressively, and I don't think the Taipans mind. They're going to stick their nose in tonight because they want the Breakers to know that they're physically going to be matched tonight.
The Breakers hustling hard on defense and that full court pressure. They are in a dogfight against the Cairns Taipans. Wilson high off the glass.
That is the floater, puts it up. Looked like it could have been just an easy layup, but he tossed it up an extra 4 feet above the rim for good measure.
He has a bag of tricks. Pledger fighting down low, tied up, and it goes in.
Well, they're trying to guard Alex Pledger right now with Dusty Reichard underneath the basket, and that's giving up about 6.5 inches. Maybe not quite that many, but it seems like it when you put him down there on the block, and just too strong on the post. When he gets the ball inside that charge circle, he's got a very good ability of going up quickly through the contact and scoring the basketball as he did that time.
Pledger converts, 9 points for him, 2 blocks, 2 rebounds. Even a steal for the big man in his 100th game for the Breakers. Reichart slips, falls. Gives it up to Steindl.
Little globetrotter basketball.
Speaking of which, they're coming in May. 5 on the shot clock. Wilson sees it, gives it up. Tragar gives it back. That's a shot clock violation. So good pressure by the Breakers, forcing the Cairns Taipans into a bad shot. And Aaron Fern is not happy on the sideline.
Well, at a certain point, somebody's got to see the clock there and get a shot up. Cam Tragar had a decent look, tried to get a little bit of a better look and dribble himself out of a shot.
I think Jamal Wilson has quietly chided himself. Point guard, that's his shot. They looked on the defensive end there. Corey Webster rattles on the three.
And the Breakers finally able to hit a three-pointer as he comes back and gets the steal.
Taipans ball. Corey Webster. If I could borrow your line or your words, stick-to-itiveness from Corey Webster.
Stick-to-itiveness it was for sure. Quick reaction after hitting the three, gets right in. Here we see Cedric Jackson delivering the ball in rhythm for the Corey Webster three, after which he comes right up, heads up play, sticks his hand in there, gets a steal, unable to convert though, but I've been impressed so far by the Taipans' ability to counter the deep full-court defensive pressure of the Breakers. They haven't had really any problems for the most part up to that last possession there.
And it's back, the NRL on Sky Live and exclusive. The Roosters with Sonny Bill Williams on the interchange bench up against the Rabbitohs. Top 8 contenders tonight clashing in game number 1 of what will be a long season live on Sky Sport 1 at 10 p.m.
Live and exclusive. Sounds like there was some kind of a negotiation going on.
Apparently there was. It's great to have it back on Sky.
Well, like make a lead. Make a lead. Deliver the pass in the right spot. Rip through hard on the triple threat, because you know every time Mika and Belcher are going to get stuck into you guys really hard. Right? Make good leads, use the on ball, move the ball, go make plays. Right, defensively. Defensively.
The management office at the main doors.
Obviously got to chug. We've got to chug. We've obviously got to try and chug Pledger off the block. We've got to be smart, no more fouls. All right?
They're going to high on ball. That's my fault. I can't let him cross back over. Let's go, fellas. Come on.
Right, no. Let's look at a triple here. All right, fellas. 2, 3.
The crowd, the sellout crowd at the North Shore Event Centre. I think the email went out on Tuesday that there were only 250 tickets left there. Very few walk-ups these days. People expecting these games. This venue holds around 4,000 to be sold out. Obviously, Victor Arena last week had 8,500, their 4th biggest ever for the Breakers.
That's what success will do, get people interested. Always a good battle down here at the North Shore Event Center when the Taipans come to town.
It's a different environment here at the North Shore Event Center. It's a more homely surrounds. Wow, what a shot by Clint Steindl.
Well, fresh off the injury list, doesn't look like he's having any problems with his back tonight. Just nice elevation on the jump shot from the wing.
Catch and release. That is a true jump shot. Now Abercrombie goes to work on him. The 2 number 10s, he's tied up. Steindl gets a foul called on him. And the Breakers will go to the line again.
And that is a spot I'd love to see Thomas Abercrombie get more catches. Right there on the elbow, where he's already in range for the jump shot, but he's only 1 dribble away from making explosive moves to the basket. And he's got the ability to drive with either hand, go left or right. And even if he goes one direction, he really likes that spin move as well. So the Breakers could get him a few more touches in that elbow area. He could really be a devastating weapon there.
Well, he also has the ability just to rise up and shoot a jump shot. I mean, his elevation, his jump, his standing jump must be about close to 40 inches.
Oh, that's bold. 40 inches is a lot of inches. But he has that volleyball 2-foot jumping ability, and it's really served him well in the basketball court.
He's got long arms as well. Maybe I'm being generous, but it's Corey Webster. It's hustling on defense tonight. He almost got a turnover.
And they are trying to make life difficult for Bruce when he comes out there on the court. Really trying to harass him as a ball handler. We see Corey Webster all over him, trying to hustle, but just barely gets his foot on the line.
Jackson. He's so quick. That is ridiculous.
It really is. He's guarding a quick guy, Jamal Wilson, who's ready to go, but Cedric Jackson has the ability to reach across his body and knock that ball out of bounds. Nonetheless, only 6 seconds here on the shot clock.
More pressure. Wilson needs to get up and over half court. He does. One to shoot. He needs to get it up. It's too late. Hands on him again. That is frustrating to Coach Byrne.
It's just that extra crossover dribble, just one too many there, and earns him a trip to the bench, and he's got to be a little frustrated. That's 2 possessions now that the Taipans haven't been able to get shots up in the half court. Doing a great job against the full court pressure, getting a lot of looks, but struggling a little bit against the half court defense.
The Breakers can take the lead here. There's Abercrombie, plants. Not strong enough. As the Breakers will have it on the baseline with a fresh 24 and 123 seconds to go.
All those statistics that were going the Taipans' way earlier slowly creeping back to the Breakers, who creeped over 40% shooting and now are winning the rebound battle 16-15 as well.
The Breakers also enjoying a great advantage at the free throw line. They've shot 18 free throws, they've made 13, and the Cairns Taipans just 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. Abercrombie rises up, too strong. While his field goals aren't dropping, he's 1 of 6, 1 of 7. He is looking aggressive, and he is looking to take his shot. Reichert, the floater. And Webster has it. Jackson calls the play. Abercrombie finds space, shoots it. Still tough night shooting at the office for Tom Abercrombie, 1 of 8 now. Steindl gets Abercrombie up in the air, and he stepped out on the sideline. That was a tough turnover for the Cairns Taipans right there.
And the turnover is starting to creep up for them as well. That's the 11th on the game. And really, it's not the pressure of the Breakers that's creating the majority of these turnovers. It's just mental errors by the Taipans. 2 shot clock violations, stepping on the sideline. Just really unable to take advantage of the situation that they've played themselves into.
It is an arm wrestle, a low-scoring arm wrestle for the North Shore Event Centre. 37-36, the Cairns Taipans with a 1-point lead. And you can enjoy more NBL basketball. The Wildcats and the Kings, both teams fighting for a playoff position. Perth sealed up that 2 spot in the ladder. The Sydney Kings are in the thick of it in number 4 spot. That's live and exclusive on Friday night at 11:30.
Be aware in the past that they've had trouble because the guard stays so long that this guy is often open. All right? But just, you know, we want to keep milk and cheap. We want to keep milk and cheap, but if you see the guard there, then Corey might be open and we play off that. If it goes to you, Corey, and you don't like it, Dylan steps out and Alex comes in and sets you screen. Here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Well, it's exciting for most, maybe not for everybody. Oh, wait, no, he's just checking his phone, It's a
timeout. It's a good chance to check your Facebook, your Twitter. Maybe look at something on Pinterest. Is the crowd back into it with 1:18 to go? Not a fan of Pinterest?
Huge fan.
Huge.
I put tons of stuff up on my board. Big fashion. Lots of fashion pins.
I noticed that. Jackson, over half court. Breakers looking for the lead. Webster, can he give it to them? Taipans ball.
Important possession here for the Taipans. They've got that 1-point lead. They want to stretch it out a little bit. Really looking to get the ball in Jamal Wilson's hands, seeing what he can do going to the basket.
Brad Hill hands it off to Glidden. Drives. Return hands it off to Trigar. They're just not connecting on those interior passes as Trigar wincing a little bit. Got a finger jam there. And they will have the ball back, though, with 7 on the shot clock. 47.3 to go in the half. Steindl driving, left-hand layup blocked.
Defensive pressure by the Breakers tonight. Lots of block shots at the rim on those penetrating drives.
Both teams shooting under 40% in this first half. Jackson spins and moves on Wilson. Breakers turn it over, stepped out. Taipans ball, 24.2 to go.
Well, the Taipans in excellent position here to go into the lead. And at halftime with the lead, just 24 seconds left, so they should be able to get that last shot of the half.
Leon Henry, with a foul to give, mind you, just a little too aggressive, trying to poke the ball away.
They probably want to save that foul to give for about 3 or 4 seconds. But Aaron Fern wants to talk it over, calls a timeout, trying to get a quality possession here. Fantastic opportunity to come into the Breakers building and go to halftime with the lead, which would be a big mental advantage for them going into halftime.
Well, I'm looking forward to halftime with you and Dennis Katsanos talking about how this first half has gone for both teams. And if you want to join the conversation, you can. Handle Sky Sport NZ. The hashtag is NZBreakers.
Where are we inbounding it from?
We're going to have breakers on the old three-point boom. Second half, I think we're going
You're going to inbound the ball.
quite a number of times.
You're there.
A Sky City breaker
You're there.
you'll hear the music. I don't know what chance Chief's got, but
Right.
let's see how we go.
Let's go into your here.
The
All
track
right.
anyway.
On
When
the
you hear
slack.
the boom, everybody
You're off to the corner. You're off into the corner. All right? Can you screen down? Jamar, you're up through the middle. This man here cheats.
Okay.
This man cheats. You go to the ball. All right? Yep. All right. I wish I hustled.
The three.
Then they're gonna hustle. All right?
Every time the breakers
Punch the ball hooked up like this.
Casey, look at the stats as they called along there at the bottom during the timeout. And both teams with just 6 assists. And really, it's not an indication of guys just going one-on-one. It's just a byproduct of the great defense these two teams are playing.
They're recovering very well right now and forcing the Breakers and the Taipans are forcing each other to put the ball on the floor for that extra dribble.
Another foul. Is it on Leon Henry again? I believe it is. And Leon Henry picks up 2 quick fouls. And now the Cairns Taipans
Let's go, guys. Two shots. Here we go.
will have 2 shots as Bruce comes in the game.
Leon Henry there just a little bit too handsy. Gets those hands extended out on the perimeter on Jamar Wilson trying to recover defensively, but not what you want to do, send him to the free throw line. With the ability to make the easy shot, but it does give the Breakers a chance to come back and possibly tie this game.
39-36, the Taipans lead. 11 seconds to go in the first half. 3 will tie it. Jackson shoots a 3. Abercrombie gets it, puts it back up. And that's no good as well. And it is half-time at the North Shore Event Centre. Cam Tregar and the Cairns Taipans fighting for their playoff lives in the IINet NBL. And they'll head to the changing sheds with a slim 3-point advantage. They lead the New Zealand Breakers 39-36. A playoff type atmosphere here. Cairns desperate to get their playoff chances alive. Keep them alive. We're underway in the third quarter. The Breakers looking to seal the first spot in the league early before the season ends, before they have to go to Perth in the final game. And Mika Makona starts off with that right-hand layup.
And just using his quickness as Cedric Jackson gets the steal right back at him.
You cannot turn your head for a split second. The Breakers pressuring the inbounds passes. Jackson does have the ball. Inside to Mika Makona. Goes up, and he walked.
Well, gets the call on the travel. Like to see that one again. Not really sure from up here if it was a walk, but the official was right there, standing right next to it. So confidence in his call, but Mika Makona coming out aggressively offensively, really trying to take it straight to Alex Loughton.
Play broken up. Cairns recover. Loughton rattles in the 3. Alex Loughton, the big man, can shoot from outside.
And they're here to hit shots. That was excellent defensive rotation, but it did not affect Loughton in the slightest.
Upstairs to Pledger, and he can't get it to draw, but Alex Loughton will pick up the personal foul. And that is Alex Loughton's 3rd personal.
And Alex Pledger the beneficiary almost of a Cedric Jackson lob pass there. Just wasn't able to put it down after the contact, but still gets to the free throw line. And Cedric Jackson looking to get the big fella involved.
Chief at the line. Makes the first 10 points for him. Career high is 18. He's had that twice this season. He's on pace at the moment. He's 4 or 5 from the line. 5 or 6 now. Rebounds are all tied up, 18 apiece. It has been hard fought. Since the first half, we had a delay in getting the game underway due to traffic problems for Cairns Taipans as Cedric Jackson got his hands in the passing lane.
He is not having the best offensive game, not really getting the stroke going, but he is affecting this game on the defensive end of the court. He is harassing whoever he's guarding, and he's constantly in the passing lane.
He hasn't made a shot his own through, but he's got 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and a steal. And Cedric Action Jackson. More pressure. Pledger, too aggressive. Too strong on the pressure as Trigar went down.
Not quite the same thing watching Alex Pledger trying to jump into that passing lane as Cedric Jackson. At that time, Alex Pledger had it, but just couldn't use his body, get his body to avoid Cam Trigar there. And disappointed, can't believe it, but he had to steal. Just the big fella, the 7-footer, not quite as nimble as Cedric Jackson is.
Yeah, Lonzo Romano's not finding that funny at all, of course. That's his 3rd personal foul for Pledger, and he will take a seat. And Dylan Boucher, a reserve centre with Will Hudson out, steps onto the court.
He's the man of many positions. Once upon a time, he was guarding Yao Ming there in the post, so I don't think Alex Lyon is going to, or Cam Trigar, give him too much trouble.
Was he the guy who pushed Yao Ming in the chest when Sean Marks dunked on him?
Well, he got pushed in the chest after Sean Marks did a good dunk on him, actually.
Hustle on the glass.
Jamal Wilson, the point guard, getting in amongst the big fellas.
You've got to like his game as Abercrombie. Bacona again. Gets the putback, a difficult reverse layup. Mika Bacona has 10 points. He also has 5 rebounds, all on the offensive glass. And Cam Trigar leaked out and got a tough finger roll.
Well, the Breakers get back just a little bit too late there, but offensively, Mika Bacona is a man possessed. He looks like a thirsty man right now for the basketball.
Offensive foul. Aaron Grabeau went sliding on the floor.
Talk about a veteran play there. He set Thomas Abercrombie up with the physical play all over the place before that. And this time when Thomas Abercrombie tries to cut through, he just absorbs the contact, takes the charge, lies down, and gets his team the basketball back.
Mika Bacona just quietly amassing a great stat line as well. So keep an eye on him. He has been aggressive the last couple of weeks. Both knees with bandages on them tonight. Braces, carrying the workload. With Will Hudson out for the Breakers. Wilson to the cup. Too strong. Bacona gets his first defensive rebound of the game. But his 6th overall. Jackson backing Wilson down from a long way up. Edwards pressured him and they poked it away to the Taipans, and the Breakers will have it with 11 on the shot clock.
Nothing easy at any point. Just defensively, everybody's taking up the way and pushing them off their lines.
Wilson tangled up with Mika Bacona, and he will pick up a foul. So Jamal Wilson, that will be his 2nd foul.
Mika Bacona with the solid all-ball screen, tries to roll afterwards, and the Taipans get called up in a switching defense there. Mika Bacona too strong for Jamal Wilson. He gets caught trying to wrap his arms around him.
Bacona left alone. Front rims it. Edwards gets it.
Defense.
Bacona on Wilson now. 9 on the shot clock. Mismatch. Trigar with Jackson on him. Skip pass over to Wilson. 3 balls on the top. Who wants it? Jackson in the open court. Gives it up to Bacona, who puts it up and in. Mika Bacona has 12 points on 5 of 9 shooting.
Well, it wasn't the high flyer, but just as effective. Cedric Jackson imposing his will on the game with the steal, drops it off to Mika Bacona for the easy layup.
Taipans lead is just 2. Defense chant from the Breakers fans, and they are rewarded. As Paulino Grabose is chewing out the ref, but we're going back the other way. Here comes Jackson into the key. Left hand is good. Cedric Jackson ties it up.
Well, the Breakers have picked up the energy level defensively, and now it's transferring to the offensive end as well.
Trigar left alone, and they get the lead back.
Well, the Taipans have been fantastic against the full court pressure tonight, really not being affected by it at all. Have very few turnovers again, and they've been able to get easy looks. Weren't hitting them in the first half, but hitting them now.
Vacona, foul line. Edwards skies for the ball and has it. Edwards. Blocked by Boucher. Looked like he got hit hard. Jackson. Up and around the defender. And drops. Cedric Jackson's come away from the third.
Well, the Breakers look like they got the benefit of the doubt on the defensive end, but on the offensive end, all created by Cedric Jackson's footwork with a fantastic left-hand layup.
Baseline, throws up the hook. Breakers looking for the go-ahead bucket. Foul call. Team foul number 3 on the Cairns Taipans.
To go along with Mika Vacona's aggressiveness offensively, looks like Cedric Jackson's put on his penetration hat here with about 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter, and he's really trying to get to the basket and attack Jamar Wilson on that end of the court.
Jamar Wilson will have 3 fouls on him as he hits to the bench. And Casey, look at Jackson just head to the cup.
Well, just too quick on that one. This is the one I like, though. Look at that step. Crosses him over incredibly, then gives it the dipsy-do off the glass with the left hand. Cedric Jackson starting to get going a little bit offensively.
Tonight, the Roosters and the Rabbitohs live on Sky Sport 1. The NRL is back at 10 p.m.
You stay, it's the other guy who can make a shot. Once they beat it, when we get back in the half court, I want to hustle on balls now for a little bit. All right, hustle on ball screen. Handoffs, go ahead and bust through still. All right, unless it's like for like, then we're hustling on ball screens. Great push to the ball.
Wilson and trap the other guy.
Yeah, sure. Good stuff. Whose ball is it? That ball. 1, 2, 3, where's it from?
Well, the crowd's enjoying this little comeback by the Breakers as they've been able to tie the scores, all knotted up at 48. And the Breakers could use a little bit of energy from that crowd, feed off it as they normally do, and especially in these third quarters when the Breakers tend to go on runs.
Breakers fans enjoying themselves in this third quarter. It's locked up. 5 minutes even. In the third quarter, 48 apiece. Cedric puts it up, backs it in. Cedric Jackson with 6-7 points.
Weren't we talking about him having 1 point at halftime? Because I've seen him make his last 3 shots.
Grabose hits a big 3. Aaron Grabose gives the Taipans a 1 point lead.
And he's found the range tonight, has a couple of nice 3-pointers, started off the game that way and picks it up here in the third.
Webster. Turnover. Henry bangs into Trigar. And Leon Henry will be called for the foul as he just barreled over Cam Trigar.
Well, excellent defense there, heads up, reaching out and getting the steal, but he just predetermined that move, decided what he was going to do before he saw what the defense gave him. Comes down, just puts his shoulder right through. A bit of a sell by Cam Trigar, but nonetheless his feet were in the right spot. He was in the right spot at the right time. And Leon Henry a little disappointed, but he needs to bounce back here on defense.
Third personal foul on Leon Henry. 3 team fouls apiece. Turnover. Steal. They gave it back. Grabose. Grabose rattles in another. Aaron Grabose with 2 straight threes.
And he is feeling it tonight. Do not leave him alone at the 3-point line.
Jackson fouled as he went to the hole. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Cedric Jackson is aggressive now.
Well, at the moment right now, I think Sean Bruce looks like a turnstile to Cedric Jackson when he's trying to guard him on the perimeter. And here we see Gerbeau on the cross-court pass over to the defender. That was the first one. Here's the second one. Gets the ball into the transition game. Nothing about net. And he lets everybody know about it with the primal scream afterwards.
A mini summit between Cedric Jackson and Dylan Boucher. As Jackson goes to the line.
Conversation goes, do you want to get the steal or should I get the steal?
Dylan Boucher, Defensive Player of the Year a couple of seasons ago at the ripe old age of 34. And Cedric Jackson for the second. Too long. Almost got a steal. Track down the rebound.
Gets a foul for it. Loose ball foul on Cedric Jackson there. Doesn't want to be giving away those fouls, but only going to be his second on the night.
Cairns up 3, 54-51. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Give it a go. Dylan Boucher just went straight into the front row seats on the baseline. And whose ball is it?
Dylan Boucher's the only one who thought it was a breaker ball there. Now we've seen a bit of a conversation between the refs. Can we see that replay? As Glidden tries to get through and Dylan Boucher gets a little bit of arm.
Did it come off his shoulder?
Either way, should be Taipans ball, because if that wasn't off Dylan Boucher, there's probably a foul.
Broken up. Jackson, left hand. That is good. Cedric Jackson's pumped.
He is just taking the ball away from them at will. If he is in that passing lane, advice for the Taipans, do not pass it.
As Jamal Wilson sits, Cedric Jackson is having a field day at the expense of the Taipans. Dylan Boucher just smashed Bruce into the ground. Hip check is called on him.
Well, Andre Lamanis is trying to argue it, saying he was already out of bounds by the time the foul happened. Looks from there that there was a bit of contact, but he also just got his feet tangled up on himself there and almost tripped himself. But as always, if it looks like a foul, it is a foul. And that time, Dylan Boucher just a bit too aggressive on the on-ball screen.
Jackson Boucher picks up his third foul, so he sits. Breakers, that is their 15th foul. As Bruce misses the first.
And a lot of foul trouble floating around for the Breakers with Dylan Boucher, Leon Henry, and Alex Pilger all sitting on 3. Only Alex Sloughton and Jamal Wilson sitting on 3 for the Taipans.
Cairns still have a lead. It's 55-53 for the Heroics. So Cedric Jackson, he gives it up to Vacona, has him blocked by Trigard. Cairns are hanging tough.
Good defense by Trigard there, getting a hand up, making Mika Vacona double pump and still getting the block.
Gerbeau. Trigard looking for a cutter. Finds Glidden. Glidden hits a 3.
Just clever offense. A lot of back cuts there. First cut backdoor, then came off the screen. A lot of action for Cedric Jackson to deal with.
Speaking of which, Jackson behind the back. It's a 3 from the wing.
Oh, and somebody find some water because this guy is on fire right now.
Hustling for a steal. Gets it. Dixie do. Oh, he blew the layup.
Got caught in between minds there. You can see that he wasn't sure if he was going to make the layup or drop it off to Mika Vacona. And when the defender didn't commit all the way, he ended up getting caught in the air. Still almost made the layup, but after that, Mika Vacona with a big foul for him. That's going to be his third on night. Here we see a fantastic steal. As Glidden gets back, just bothers him enough with a whiff of a hand to make him miss the layup. But now the Breakers in dire straits with the big man. All the big men sitting on 3 fouls.
That is a 4-point swing if he makes these free throws. He makes the first. So the foul situation at the moment, Pledger, Henry, Boucher, and Vacona all on 3 fouls. For the Taipans, it's Loughton and Jamal Wilson. So makes the second. The lead is 4 for the Taipans. Webster falls away. Cedric Jackson again.
Cedric Jackson just stealing everything.
Pledger, foul, and it counts. Cedric Jackson has 4 steals.
I do not believe that stat. I believe he's got 1,000 steals, because that's what it feels like right now. He is getting his hands on every ball that gets passed right now. And here we see it. Look where he is. He makes up like 7-8 feet in half a second. Steals it. Alex Pledger with a nice step through move to finish with the left hand to finish it up.
Pledger closes the gap to 1. Jackson has 4 steals, all in this third quarter. This third quarter has brought this game to life.
Cedric Jackson, just phenomenal performance defensively. Even if he hadn't scored a bucket this quarter, he'd be the MVP of the quarter. But, oh, Mika Vakona with his 4th foul, trying to keep Bruce from cutting to the basketball. And that is just going to really affect the Breakers for the rest of the way.
That is a cruel, crushing blow for the Breakers as Mika Vakona, like you said, just too aggressive. 4th personal foul. And that will be shots as well.
It's that fine line for Mika Vakona between playing with reckless abandon and getting out there, being a physical force and being smart. If he just hadn't gotten out with his hand and grabbed him, he probably could have gotten away with the contact. But as it was, right in front of the official, reaching out to grab a guy, keep him from cutting to the basketball, it's an easy call.
Bruce misses the first free throw. Vakona is stewing on the bench. Misses the second, but Dusty Reichardt's there to clean up. Jackson, my goodness, he almost got another steal, or almost picked up a personal foul. 60-59, under 2 to go in the third.
I'll tell you what, if I'm playing for Cairns right now, I'm not passing it on the same side of the court as Cedric Jackson.
Aaron Fern gambling with Jamar Wilson on the bench with 3. Glidden gets all of those. Huge bucket.
And he is playing well. 13 points on the night, 2 for 5 from behind the arc.
Pledger down low, fouled by Cam Tregar. Cam Tregar is just too small to combat Alex Pledger as Brad Hill comes in the game.
Well, he's doing his defensive work just a shade too late. If he wants to keep Alex Pledger from scoring, he has to hit him early before he gets to the free throw line. Force him off the block early. As it is, Alex Pledger's walking down to the block, setting up camp, and then after the ball comes in is when Tregar's trying to defend him. And with that kind of size, that close to the basket, it's just too late.
Pledger in his 100th game is 7-8 from the free throw line. Is 15 points. He also has 3 personal fouls, and he needs to stay in the game for the Breakers. He's marking Dusty Reichhardt. Jackson's on Glidden. Reichhardt steps through and around Alex Pledger. A veteran move from Dusty Reichhardt.
Gave him a little bit of the shoulder and the elbow as he went past and gave him a nice little up fake.
Out comes Pledger. Sets the pack for Webster. Webster goes up on Reichhardt. Too strong. Dusty Reichhardt pulls down a rebound. Small ball with 46 seconds to go is working for the Cairns Taipans. The gamble by Fern starting to pay off. They're up 4. And with a foul, strong side.
Dusty Reichhardt with the illegal screen using a hip there. Takes away what would have been an easy layup. And he's a little confused, doesn't think it's a good call himself, but here we see the replay coming down. Looks like they said he stuck his hip out a little bit, just a little too much emphasis on the lower body there. Had he just rolled a little quicker, wouldn't have got that call.
Pledger sits, Boucher's in the game. Corletto in traffic. Henry can't get the putback. Boucher hits there. Corletto, corner 3, it's good! That's a 2 for on the line.
Well, Dylan Boucher does the hard yards underneath after Leon Henry gets a tip, then finds his favorite assist partner, Dale Corletto, in the corner.
5 in the quarter. Bruce to Hill. Needs to get it up. He does. It's in. Oh, what an end to the quarter for Brad Hill and the Cairns Taipans. 67-63. Game on. Game on at the North Shore Event Centre.
Well, I think if you would have told the Breakers that after 3 quarters they would have had 63 points, they'd feel pretty comfortable coming against the Taipans. But as hard as both teams have played defensively, they've still been able to cope overcoming.
67-63 is what we have here, but I just got handed the official FIBA stats, and it says 65-63. So we're underway. We'll go with the clock here. Taipans have a 4-point lead. Turnover. Wow. It is all on in this 4th quarter as we're underway. Cedric Jackson with the ball. And for the Cairns Taipans, 3 fouls from Reichart, Loughton, Wilson and Edwards. Boucher spins. Can't get it. Loughton gets the offensive board, and Dylan Boucher will pick up foul number 4.
And that foul trouble is starting to mount up for both teams. We've got 4 Taipans, Edwards, Wilson, Loughton, and Reichart all sitting on 3. 2 Breakers, Vacona and Boucher on 4, as well as Henry and Pledger sitting on 3. So you might as well use it up. You can't take them home after a game like this.
Exactly. 67-63. Taipans lead. Glidden stepped out. The Cairns Taipans haven't beaten the Breakers at home since 2008.
Well, if they're going to have a better opportunity than this, I can't see it coming. But right now, they've put themselves in a position to win, but they have to take care of the basketball. 2 turnovers to start the quarter.
Couldn't get the wild shot, and Abercrombie smashed Brad Hill's draw. And it is a big draw, to be fair.
Well, he's got a bit of padding on it with that beard, so hopefully it'll be okay. It certainly looks more pronounced with that beard, nonetheless.
It certainly does. Abercrombie will pick up foul number 3.
Everybody's going to end up with at least 3 tonight.
All right, we'll stop talking about the foul trouble, I think. We're in the 4th quarter. We'll tell you when guys fell out. Loughton. Reichart into Loughton. Great position, and Jackson's on and put the ball down. Gets the ball up and in, and will go to the line for a 3-point play opportunity.
Well, what a big opportunity for him there. The Breakers get the switch on the on-ball screen. Cedric Jackson matched up on Alex Loughton there. Gets his arm all over Loughton's arm, but it still can't keep him from making the bucket.
Jackson tried to tie him up. Alex Loughton and the Cairns Taipans will take a seat, and they will talk about it.
Get into it, mate. Get into it. Be active for us.
3 team fouls. The Tigers and the Breakers will be live on Sunday at 3 p.m. on Sky Sport 3. And then back here on Thursday. Same time, same place.
So Bouch, you got that when it comes in. If you can red 40 at one time, red 40 it, and then, you know, have a go and shoot back and just try to up the tempo a little bit with our defense. Understand at the back, we're not coming off the boat.
Hey, you're hustling on a big. That's a white right now for you guys. You got a front stuff.
4 Breakers in front. Yeah. At the offensive end, now, like the push, right now, we're not getting any ball movement, okay? So I said, on the fly, you can push and go. But otherwise, let's get some secondaries now. Secondary ball movement, go, cut, go, get the people flying off. Yeah, secondaries, be aggressive. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Right now, the Breakers losing the rebounding battle against the Cairns Taipans, 27-24. The Breakers do have a slight advantage on the offensive glass, 11-9.
And if recent form holds true for the Breakers, that is the most important stat. When they win the rebound battle, I'd say 9 times out of 10 they're going to get that victory. But the Taipans tonight just fantastic, putting their bodies on the line. And low rebounding count too for as many missed shots there is in this game.
Loughton can't convert. So the lead is 6, 69-63. It's gone a little quiet at the North Shore Event Centre.
Ken Glidden giving Cedric Jackson a little bit of his own medicine, getting in that passing lane, affecting it, keeping the ball out of his hands.
Breakers haven't lost at home since round 1 against the Perth Wildcats. Jackson, step back. Pledger tied up by Dusty Roycart, and Alex Pledger will go back to the line to shoot free throws 10 and 11.
Well, Andre Lamanis challenged Alex Pledger in that last timeout, told him to be great, told him to be active defensively, get on the glass, and he comes right out of the timeout and gets an offensive rebound that is huge for the Breakers right now. Really needing these free throws to drop to keep pace with what has become a hot Taipans offense.
Right now, we're just sort of wondering on the bench of the Breakers, whereabouts CJ Bruton is. Corey Webster's been coming in for the last quarter and a bit. We haven't seen CJ Bruton since halftime. And he's not on the bench as far as we can tell from up in our commentary position. So Loughton. The shot is cleaned up by Alex Pledger. Jackson. Dancing in the key, steps out between the legs into Pledger. Pledger has the hot hand. The Wall's a big man and now has a career high with 20.
And he's just carving out that space down by the paint as Cedric Jackson puts on a dribbling display. Alex Pledger finds the open space right at the basket and powers his way up for two.
Cut the lead to 2. Ben Cairns widen it again. Wilson spins on Boucher, but it's tied up. Loughton. Pledger pulls down another big ball.
Alex Pledger making his presence felt after being challenged by Andre Lamanis, coming out and taking over the game.
He's having a man's game in his 100th. It's Corletto. Can't miss the 3, and an update on CJ Bruton. He's left the building. He's gone home sick. So that is not good for the Breakers. They had a game on Sunday, and right now they're in a dogfight with the Cairns Taipans. 69-67, the Taipans, the visitors lead.
And another turnover for the Cairns Taipans. They've had 16 on the game now. Only 6 for the Breakers on the night.
Jackson. To Pledger. Foul line. Too strong. Poked away by Abercrombie, but he went over the back and picks up the foul.
Well, the officiating crew has been right on those over the backs tonight as Thomas Abercrombie picks up his 4th foul, trying to be aggressive and get to the line. The Breakers with the 6 CJ Bruton are starting to run out of bodies here. This foul trouble is really mounting up for them.
Well, we bang on about how deep their bench is and what a luxury it is. No Will Hudson and CJ Bruton's gone home sick and they got foul trouble. Their backs are against the wall. Boucher's got 4, Vacona's got 4, Abercrombie's got 4. Cairns Taipans. Cantragard picks up the moving screen. Foul called on that.
It's twice now here in the second half that they've got caught for the illegal screen. Just a little too active. Gonna have to watch it the rest of the way. Obviously, the officials are calling that a little bit more tightly than they're used to.
Corletto. Picked up by Darryl Corletto. To shoot. Crossover. Easy. Oh, he broke it away. Oh, that is a killer.
Yeah, he does all the work with a fantastic move, but just cannot get the buddy to go.
Oh, Jackson rocks Glidden with a crossover. Hesitation, Steve, I should say. But he can't get the jumper to drop. Glidden, left hand, pulls up. Nails a deep 2. Cam Glidden is stepping up in the 4th quarter.
Well, this young fella has ice water in the veins. If he gets a little space off the top, he is nailing that jump shot. Got to make him put the ball on the floor. Right now, the Breakers getting caught in those screens and not being able to pressure him enough on the jump shot.
71-67. Coming up on 5.5 to go in the game. It's Corey Webster. Off to Corletto. Vacona. He hits a big deep 2.
Mick Vacona playing with confidence. Normally when he misses a couple of those jumpers, he doesn't shoot again, but he had no hesitation on that attempt.
Vacona on 6 of 12 shooting has 14 points. Glidden gets Jackson in the air. Glidden in and out. Tragar gets the ball. Wilson shoots it quickly. That rattles in for Jamal Wilson.
extra opportunities. The team that can control the defensive glass is going to win this basketball game. That time, Alex Pledger couldn't corral it. The second chance for Jamal Wilson.
The Taipans doing a great job fending off this Breakers challenge. And Wilson will pick up foul number 4.
A clever play by Mika Vukona there, using his body to screen instead of just handing off the basketball, and absorbs that contact, knocks him off his stance there, and gets the foul on Wilson, which is going to be big, in particular for ball from pressure for the Taipans coming down here the last 4 minutes of this basketball game.
Alex Pledger, he looks like he's been in a dogfight tonight. He looks tired.
He has to carry a heavy minutes load with all that foul trouble, much longer than he's used to being on the court.
Oh, nice pass. Vukona can't get it to drop, and Boucher came through on the offensive rebound attempt and tipped it out.
And Mika Vukona has got 14 points in the night, but he as well has missed a couple of shots right there on the cusp. And man, this must be a physical game, because all these offensive players are struggling to make those easy shots. It's like they expect the defense to be coming out of nowhere.
73-69, Cairns lead. Doing a great job on the road. Loughton. Vukona's on him. 6 to shoot. Loughton rolls baseline, falls away, too strong, and Boucher there. He picks up the board. Up ahead to Mika Vukona. Bounce pass to Corey Webster. No good. Foul. Offensive foul. Tom Abercrombie.
Well, what a turn of events there. Mika Vukona drops it off to Corey Webster, who just can't finish the basketball. And when it looks like the Taipans are going to be able to slow it down and build on the lead, Clinton just a little aggressive, and Thomas Abercrombie in the right place at the right time to get that charge call.
If you've just tuned in, this game has come to life in the second half. It looks low scoring, and it was in the first half, but it has been back and forth in 1.5 quarters.
Well, there we see that fantastic pass by Mika Vukona as Alex Loughton sends him to the floor. No call, but
that's the type of game it's been. We're showing missed layups and charges taken.
Well, I'll tell you, this last 6 minutes of defense has been fantastic by both teams. Only about 4 points for each team, but it is exciting nonetheless just to watch teams play as hard as this. And leave it out on the court is fantastic.
Boucher and Loughton get tied up in the key. Boucher again. He's getting a check to throw the Taipans. Crowd don't like it. Jackson gets a shot blocked. Webster has it. Puts up the left hand. That rolls in. Finally, the Breakers get a break.
It looked like he might have gotten away with an extra step there, but it's to no avail for the Taipans, because the left-handed layup counts, and we have a 2-point ball game.
These are huge minutes for Corey Webster to see Jake Brudenheim sick now. Three to shoot. Tregar falling away, pulls the trigger. Accident! Oh, Cam Tregar!
Oh, wow, what a shot by Cam Tregar off the glass. Wow. We don't have a timeout. They think there's a timeout on the floor. Is this the shot clock going off? But look at this. Sends him to the middle, fades away for about 17, kisses it off the board.
Oh my goodness.
How about that touch?
That is so good. That sucked the air out of the North Shore Event Center. That is pretty. Abercrombie. Good ball with great defense. Webster into the key. Puts it up. Tied up by Loughton. Just good defense by Cairns. And not a great shot taken. Pledger's about to check back in. 75-71. Cairns in control. 2 minutes, 51 to go in the game. Cairns, are they giant killers? They tipped over Perth, and Tregar gets the offensive board. Oh my goodness.
Extra possession so huge at this point in the game.
Bruce to Tregar. Falls away. No loss this time.
Why not go back to it though? After that last one, why not try it again?
75-71. Nervous times for Breakers fans. Abercrombie can't get the roll. Tregar goes down. The Breakers just cannot seem to get close and draw the game level is Loughton. Bodies on the floor. The Breakers now under 2 to go. They need a bucket. Without stating the obvious, Vakona just sort of weaved his way through. Trigger found him. Mika Vakona will go to the line.
Well, we're looking at 2 tired teams out there on the court right now. The Taipans, fatigue may be starting to set in. You see 3 guys with their hands in their shorts trying to grasp for the breath, and they just gave up that jump shot to Mika Vakona that time, but he saw no defenders around. He said, why not? Just dribble to the basket, maybe get a layup. Instead, he gets fouled, but not the best free throw shooter on the Breakers team, although he's done a better job from the free throw line this year. 2 huge shots for the Mika Vakona and the Breakers trying to keep this winning streak alive.
Aaron Fern calls timeout. The starting 5s will resume battle after this timeout. And we do have a ball game. My goodness, what a game this has turned into. It has been an absolute wrestling match.
Well, fantastic timeout by Aaron Fern. He sees a tired team out there. He knows how big this next possession is. He gives him a chance to rest. At the same time, he ices Mika Vakona.
Once it comes out, we're back to normal rules, all right? We're back to normal rules. I need you to be great with your shows, good and active on your shows. All right, so you can start it for a second and then slip out of it. Be aware of slout and slipping early, but we're okay. Offensively, we get a stop and you go. Otherwise, come down and shakes. Alex, here. Cedric, Dazza, here. I want Tom here. All right, Mickey, you're going to start short space. Alex, sprint in. Cedric's going. Tommy, you stretch. All right, you stretch. And Mickey, you just keep playing that short pace. Maybe underneath or maybe you stretch out here. So Sergio should have this lane here. If that's taken, like Tommy's open, Alex is on the rim. Dazza, you lift out of there. We're good. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Well, here's where no C.J. Bruton also becomes huge for the Breakers. This is the guy who has the basketball in his hand down the stretch. This is the guy they depend on for those big shots. So without him now, who's the ball going to go to? Who are they going to look to get these buckets? The ball's normally in Cedric Jackson's hand. Expect it to be there, but who's going to hit the big shots? Who's going to hit those threes when they really need them?
Now it's Mika Vakona at the line. 2 shots coming.
This is the first, as you can hear a pin drop in this gym. The crowd trying to will that ball into the basket.
.72, Breakers desperate for a stop here. Huge free throw advantage for the New Zealand Breakers. Jackson just bumps Wilson. Commits the foul. Abercrombie thought twice about coming over.
On the on-ball screen there, Cam Jagar started to run up to set the on-ball, and Alex Pledger followed him. And that opened up a lane for Jamar Wilson to drive. There you see it as wide as it could possibly been all day. And Cedric Jackson doesn't give him the layup, makes him earn it from the free throw stripe. He's going to have 2 big free throws here.
Makes his 4th of the night. It's 4 of 5. 4-point lead. It is that magic margin for the Cairns Taipans. Rattles in the second. It's now 5 with 1:30 to go. Cairns Taipans did the Breakers a favour by beating Perth last weekend. It's Jackson. And Andrews gets it into the cup. And Vakona has a steal. Abercrombie goes up strong, and he'll go to the line.
And how many times tonight have the Breakers jumped that pass to get that steal? At least 3 occasions that they've been able to get that extra possession. This time, Mika Vakona, so clever on the baseline, using that quickness, that unexpected lunge to the basket after Cedric Jackson makes a difficult layup. There we see the make. Mika Vakona just sneaks right over and takes possession, as Alex Loughton was a little careless with the basketball, but Thomas Abercrombie now with big free throws.
6 of 7 from the line, just 1 of 11 from the field. That's Loughton who committed the foul. That's his 4th. Cool as a cucumber from the free throw line. Cairns lead is 1. Jackson gets the steal. The corner. Bubbles it. Oh, Grabo comes up with it. What an opportunity that was for the Breakers, and they couldn't hang on.
And the refs have put those whistles away. These two teams are playing physical basketball in this last minute.
Under a minute to go. Wilson has the ball up high. Lee just shows. Can he recover? He can. The corner pulls down the rebound. 45 seconds in the game.
And Vacona has just been fantastic in the second half of this game.
Jackson steps through. Tough shot, no good. Trigar saves it to Loughton. And Cedric Jackson has fouled him. And Loughton will go to the line to shoot 2.
Probably a little bit early with that foul. 35 seconds left. They were guaranteed another possession. The Taipans haven't really had a lot of success scoring down here in the stretch, but instead sends a good free throw shooter to the free throw line with an opportunity to stretch to 3. Possibly a little quick. You don't know if you wanted to get that foul back quickly, but as it stands, the crowd's going to have to make some noise to try and throw this excellent free throw shooter off his game.
Loughton just his 3rd trip to the free throw line. The noise is deafening, and it worked, it seemed. Timeout coming, though. Jackson skies for the rebound. The Breakers have it. And we have a timeout. Tried to be called, but it's no good. Jackson puts it up and in. 78-77. Timeout on the floor.
And what can you say about this guy's performance in the second half of the game? Came into halftime with 1 point. Has 17 now. He has been fantastic on both ends of the court. Steal after steal, and put the offense on his shoulders. I asked who was going to be the offensive player down the stretch. Well, he answered with a big ring of that bell. 2 huge layups down the stretch from Cedric Jackson to take a 1-point lead with 23 seconds left to go.
Huge bucket from Cedric Jackson. And Andre Lamanis is calming his troops down.
So you guys are switching out onto Wilson, all right? You got to be able to hold the big up and keep him off the glass. If he posts you down, you got to get around and watch that. When Wilson's going to drive here, work, you got to sit in, all right? Sit in and hedge at him and make him like that. Go here. So, and then just come out.
This is you, here, all right? You're off. Bobo, that's you.
The basketball here for the Taipans. Jamal Wilson and Cam Glidden, those are the 2 guys who've been getting it going in the second half. And that's the Breakers' job to get the ball out of those guys' hands.
We can barely hear ourselves talking here. It is so loud. Abercrombie, Vacona, Boucher, Corletto, and Jackson. He's motioning for the crowd to hear it. Make it louder on the court for the Taipans. It's Grabo, Wilson, Trigar, Glidden, and Loughton. It'll be Taipans ball on the side. 23.4 seconds to go. Breakers up 1.
Well, how about that? It looks like the Taipans got the look they wanted. And the crowd is going nuts about it as Cedric Jackson fires him up. What a performance by him here in the second half. And two basketball teams just putting it all on the line. It's not over yet. Thomas Abercrombie, even if he makes both free throws, the Taipans are still going to have an opportunity to tie the basketball game with just a little less than 6 seconds left. But here we see a big rebound by Jamal Wilson. Cedric Jackson gets his hand on the basketball, gets it to a good free throw shooter, and now it's all on Thomas Abercrombie's shoulders with 5.7 left to go. One timeout left for the Taipans, so expect them to call it on the make, on the miss. Just going to have to get it done quickly.
He makes it, and Cairns burns that last timeout. 5.7 seconds to go at the North Shore Event Centre.
Once again, total team performance by the Breakers. But they have to do it one more time. They have to get down, play some defense. You'd expect a similar look. They like Cam Glidden. He's been shooting the ball very well here in the second half. You'd expect him to get the ball to try and get that game-time shot.
Against a courageous Cairns Taipans who are struggling in the playoff standings to stay relevant, and they are coming to life in the second half of the season as the regular season draws to an end. They've had some big wins, including Perth. Can they do it against the New Zealand Breakers, the defending champs, on their home court? They haven't lost since round number 1. They're going for 14 in a row. Chigar. 3 seconds. Glidden from the corner. Oh, it's all over. Glidden had a clean look, and he couldn't hit it from the corner. And the Breakers survive another close game at home.
Wow, what a game, what a possession. Heads up play by Glidden there. The Breakers cut him off from the preferred angle. He still was able to run to the corner and get a good look at it. Just was unable to fall, but you talk about finals basketball. This is everything you could ask for in a matchup. Fantastic offense, defense, a chess match between coaches, and everybody who was on that court left it all out there.
It may not have been pretty, but it sure was fun to watch. Two teams just slugging it out. And let's go down to the man who played in the middle in his 100th game. Alex Pledger is with Dennis Katsanos.
He's got a big smile on his face. He's very excited. Firstly, Alex, congratulations. Game 100. And what a performance. A career high in terms of 20 points for you. Tell me, did this game have the intensity that the finals have?
Yeah, it definitely does. You know, we still have a lot to play for. You know, we want that #1 seed, and we still have a few more games to win to wrap that up. And Cairns are fighting for their lives. They played a great game, and they just came out with, they were so desperate. You could just tell by the way that they played, and they gave us a great challenge. And you know, we were lucky to come away with a win, but 14 in a row, it's pretty hard to complain, eh?
I was going to say, nice and sweet, isn't it? Now, for game 100, did you want to come out and make your mark and make it a memorable game for you?
Yeah, you know, it's been a pretty awesome run over the last couple of years, obviously, and you know, 100's a pretty nice milestone, and you know, wanted a big one, and I'm glad that I could produce for the team tonight.
Now, you've got another game coming up on the weekend. You've got the Tigers. I don't think they'll be any easier than tonight. Would you agree?
Yeah, they're another team like Cairns, you know, one of those 5 or 6 teams, or no, 4 or 5 or whatever, that are fighting for those last 2 spots, and they're going to come out with the same intensity and the same desperation that Cairns had, and we're going to have to play just as well, if not better, than tonight to walk out of there with a win.
All right, congrats, Pledge, on 114 in a row, mate.
Thanks, Dennis.
What a great game it was. The veteran stepped up and Cedric Jackson stepped up in the second half. He took control, he took over. And the Breakers survive a scare from the Cairns Taipans, and they win 80-77.
Las Vegas. Epic.
Still prefer the real one, mate.
Roto Vegas.
Yeah. Sure they got geysers here. Got mud pools. And the girls a choice. Where's the luge, bro?
True.
Could you blow 50K on the Gold Coast? You, 3 nights, 48 hours, and $50,000 to blow. Buy Cody's to enter.
We love cows to bits, all their bits. Milk, cheese, yoghurt, beef. So we're having a celebration of the Kiwi cow. With great deals on beef and dairy, get a move along to Pack and Save. Our policy, New Zealand's lowest food prices.
Hurry into Noel Leeming for the mega whitewear sale. This Fisher & Paykel Quick Smart Washer is a low $5.99 and save $3.50 on this Mitsubishi fridge freezer, now our lowest price ever. Plus 30 months interest-free store-wide. Don't miss out, ends Tuesday.
No one but Noel Leeming.
Bunnings, we're low prices every day.
Homelight petrol chainsaw $199. Wired garden edging $19.98. And if you happen to find a cheaper price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 15%.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Hi, I'm Lisa Carrington, and together with Southern Cross, I'll be helping you take better care of yourself. Sometimes all it takes is a little encouragement. Try walking to work. The further you walk, the better. Maybe try running. There are opportunities everywhere. Like lunchtime. It's not just for lunch. Try a new sport. Who knows? You just might like it. Southern Cross Health Society have been looking after Kiwis for over 50 years. So come and see me online, and together, let's get a healthier you.
Don't miss out. This Easter you can run the AUT Queen Street Golden Mile. Run in the footsteps of champions and set your own mile record. The AUT Queen Street Golden Mile. Entries online close soon. Limited numbers, first come, first served.
Burger King's new change range is loaded with big tastes for small change. Like these. And these. And these. Getting a cheap feed is as easy as 1, 2, 3 with Burger King's new change range. Taste is king.
Apparently, somebody thinks I'm a monkey. Who is Spartacus?
I'm Spartacus.
No, I'm Spartacus.
No, I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus.
That calls for a Carlsberg.
Who's paying for these?
Welcome back to the North Shore Event Centre, where the mighty Sky City New Zealand Breakers are warming down after collecting their 14th victory in a row, 80-77. The final score against the Taipans. It looked for every moment of that game as if the Taipans were about to cause the biggest upset of the season. However, at the last minute, as they are so good at doing, the Breakers once again pull it out of the bag, winning by 3. Dennis Katsanis with a tall black Casey Frank. And Casey, what an incredible game of basketball. It had everything you could ask for.
It did. You couldn't ask for anything more. The Taipans, fantastic job. Really stuck to their game plan all along and had the game, had the ball in their possession. They had the chance to win, but the Breakers were not to be denied. Cedric Jackson, Mika Vakona, brilliant second half performances. I mean, just what a game from all plumbers. Everybody who participated did a fantastic job.
It was indeed. And having a look at the stats, Casey, look, apart from the overall score, obviously the Breakers winning 80-77, shooting percentage just 2 from 12 from the three-point line, and the Breakers still managed to find a way to get it done.
Well, the big thing was the rebounds. At a certain point there in the fourth quarter, they were looking at a 4 or 5 rebound deficit, but they clawed their way back and got it, and there's some huge turnovers. back-to-back turnovers after make baskets down the stretch really hurt the Taipans, but the Taipans did a better job than anyone else has this season of defending the three-point line of the New Zealand Breakers.
Yeah, and the Breakers do have the Melbourne Tigers coming up on the weekend. That one's on Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. We do have that live for you as well, so make sure you tune into that. And Casey, in terms of the tweets, they were just going off the hook. Nice to see Shea Fu tweeting in about Cedric Jackson. He had 1 point at halftime, and I don't think you could put it any better than this. Cedric Jackson has the ball on a string.
Well, he does. He's got that thing. He can dribble that like water. It goes wherever he decides to tell it to go. He's a fantastic job. I mean, you can't say enough about his impact on the game, not only offensively but defensively.
Yeah, and same for Mika Vakona. 2 incredible second halves, as you mentioned. Game number 50 for Leon Henry, a victory for him as well. 14 in a row for the Breakers. As we mentioned, don't forget to tune in. They are playing the Tigers on Sunday. And of course, next, it's game 1 of the NRL. Sonny Bill Williams up with the Roosters.
This content was proudly made right here in New Zealand.
Find out what you're missing, do the right thing, better living. Home is where the heart is, New Zealand. B-R-E-S-K-E-R-S.
Keep watching, keep supporting them.
As the playoffs loom large, momentum is the key in Melbourne. Breakers Tigers, live Sunday, Sky Sport 3.
A groundbreaking BBC series, taking nature documentary into a new realm. Selecting from birth, feathered collaborators for the ultimate mission. To get a true bird's eye view.
With their help, we flew on wings across the world.
Prime presents the brand new series, Earth Flight, Sunday.
Game breakers.
Feeds it off to Dan.
Game changers.
Conrad Smith. Oh, he's class.
It's a blockbuster in the capital. Hurricanes Crusaders, live Friday, Sky Sport 1.
21 Jump Street premieres March 17th.
New Zealand's pretty special, right? But do I really need to tell you how great we've got it again? And do I need to do it from this bustling metropolis? Do I need to magically transport myself from one glorious vista to another? Oh! Do I need to remind you of our unique cultural heritage? Or should we go over our recent triumphs? Or maybe I don't need to say anything. Maybe when things are this good, we can just enjoy them.
You'll be surprised by the range of outdoor at Bunnings and how little it costs. You come in for one thing and find you can afford a whole lot more.
PVC sheeting, $9.65. Sink and basin mixers, $56 each. Ozito twin cutter saw, $149.50. Multi-purpose ladder, $299. Zero nails, $4.98. And if you happen to find a cheaper price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 15%.
We've got all you need for great outdoors at awesome prices.
Bunnings Warehouse! Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Head into Beds R Us this month for the massive March stocktake sale. With up to 50% off our huge range of beds, the Goodnight specialists are reducing the price of your great night's sleep.
Beds R Us. Good morning, New Zealand.
mellowing it through 10 feet of charcoal turns whiskey into what it's always wanted to be. Jack Daniels.
Castle Rocks Hut, 1974. Hideaway Hut, 1890. Beeley Spur Hut, 1925. New Zealand's humble huts have given us shelter for generations, from those who endure the harsh life of the high country to those who answer the weekend call of the wild. After protecting us from the elements, Dulux and the Department of Conservation are doing the same for the huts. To preserve them for future generations, they're using Dulux Weather Shield. Developed and tested in the harshest New Zealand conditions, it's the perfect paint to protect our place and keep it looking good. It's your place too, so you can lend a hand. You can choose the next hut, pick the colours, or pick up a brush. So to get involved, get online.
Sports rock stars come out to play in April on Sky Sports. The Masters from Augusta, High Octane from IndyCar, the NBL Championship Final, the Gladiators of UFC, AFL Live from Wellington, Netball's ANZ Championship, the pace of Super Rugby, plus much, much more. April on Sky Sports.
Welcome to stunning Queenstown in the South Island of New Zealand, and more especially to the magnificent Hills Golf Course, where the word beauty takes on a whole different meaning. For any level of player, this really is one of the world's greatest golfing experiences. We're here this week for the New Zealand PGA Championship, and over the next hour you'll see some of the world's top golfers, along with celebrities and amateurs, and they're all fighting for this equally impressive silverware. Queenstown, the action-adventure capital of New Zealand, where even golf is extreme. It's a destination that has made the New Zealand PGA Championship a must-play event for golfers from the Australasian PGA Tour and beyond.
It's my favourite place to come anywhere, so whenever the tournament's on, I just tick the box and love coming back here.
It's phenomenal. The scenery, the people are so friendly. It's just gorgeous.
Just the scenery's fantastic, you know, you just feel so relaxed playing here, you know, and hopefully that sort of suits the way I play.
It's only a few times in my life that I've been to a place like this where you play golf in a nice view. It's a great feeling.
It's beautiful here. It reminds me a lot of certain places in the state of Colorado in the U.S. With the big mountains and the climate.
Just the atmosphere of Queenstown itself, it's so quiet and picturesque and tranquil, but, you know, being able to come back and defend the title makes it just that little bit more special.
Adding to the unique nature of the tournament is the addition of 68 amateurs and celebrities to the weekend Pro-Am event. Cricket legends, Olympic medalists, prime ministers, rugby heroes, business icons and TV stars. But perhaps the biggest attraction of them all, world #1 amateur Lydia Ko. But before the stars of sport, screen and Asian and Australasian golf headed for the hills, a fired-up foursome attempted to bomb New Zealand's longest drive. Teeing off on the tarmac at Queenstown's airport are All Black Justin Marshall, Japan Tour Pro Brendan Jones, PGA winner Phil Katharangi and Olympic rower Mahi Drysdale.
Just swing hard and hope it goes straight, I guess, is really the big tactic today.
I'm looking forward to the challenge of trying to keep it on the runway for as long as possible, I think.
If I can get it to bounce 400 metres, is that ambitious? Is 400 metres ambitious?
Look, I got Marshy covered. I don't know about Phil. You know, I'm sure he can hit it pretty straight. I've got to get one in play. I want one bouncing a few times before I can really cut loose.
.626. Oh. 597.
501.
No, you're not allowed to put that one on TV. That's not a true reflection.
Oh, it was good fun, wasn't it? It was impressive watching the ones go straight and bounce where they should do. It wasn't so impressive being the one that wasn't in them straight, but the hills will be different. You can use irons and other stuff around there, you know, be a bit more sensible. That suits me.
That's your game, is it?
Yeah, mate.
Positional play.
Positional play.
Round one of the New Zealand PGA Championship marked the end of an era as the pros honoured the passing of New Zealand's top golf broadcaster, Phil Leishman.
We're wearing the black ribbons today in memory of Phil Leishman, who was, you know, such a stalwart of golf and in the media in New Zealand as well. I'm going to miss him a lot personally, and I think, you know, most people around the country will as well.
The sun scorched down on the hills, a precursor to some hot scoring on the opening day of the New Zealand PGA Championship. Fastest out of the blocks was Japan Tour star Toshimoto, getting to 5 under early in his round. While his challenge faded, playing partner and defending champ Michael Hendry swept into an early lead. A birdie on his 15th hole was followed by an impressive par save on his 17th. The big Kiwi setting himself up for another birdie on his final hole, the long par 5 9th. Hendry signing for an impressive 5 under par 67.
Yeah, it's really nice to start with a good score. To be honest, I didn't really feel like I was playing that well. My swing felt a little bit out of sync, but I suppose just managed myself